Yet another Wheelchair Wednesday. No, I don't know why we keep doing these things. It just keeps happening. People like it. We're zinging, we're booming, we're banging. Today we have a special guest coming to us all the way from across the Great Ponds in the country of France, believe it or not. It's probably like 10 o'clock there right now. But before we get to him, wait a minute. Before we get to him, gotta roll the intro. Welcome to Wheelchair Wednesday. All right, y'all, let's welcome Freddo the Wheelchair Guy to the show.
Well, hey, bonsoir, mon ami. How's it going?
Pretty good. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, man. Thanks for inviting me on. I appreciate you the opportunity to connect.
Absolutely. Now, this was kind of like a last-minute thing. I ran across you a couple times before, but then today I watched that one that popped up on my YouTube. And I watched it where you were doing the tips and tricks. I think it was even like 2 years ago, but you were out in the cold. And you were like, first thing, tray. And you were like, trays. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. Why doesn't anybody ever think about the tray? So I seen that instantly. And as soon as I seen that, I was like, yep. I was like, I got to get a hold of this guy. So I reached out and here we go.
Well, thanks again. I appreciate it, man. Like, I only become aware of you recently when you posted. We became Facebook friends really randomly. If I see someone in a wheelchair, I normally accept their friend request.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Because, I used to be like, if we never met in real life, then it's just a flat no. But now I'm like, if you're in a wheelchair, then why not? Like, and then you posted, I finally got 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, well done. Like, that's cool. That's a great achievement. I remember when I first got my first 1,000 and. So yeah, then I checked out your channel, and then I just shot you a message and said, "Hey man, yeah, let's collab."
Awesome, yeah, dude. Now I mentioned you're in France. You said you're from UK. Explain a little bit about that. Like, where you from, and like where'd you grow up? To how'd you end up there?
Okay, so currently I'm 42 years old. When I was 26, I left the UK to go live in. I traveled around Southeast Asia. I lived in Australia for 2 years. I lived in New Zealand for 3 years. I got deported. It was kind of a weird story.
We're going to talk about that on another. I was going to say another podcast. Yeah. Man, that sounds like a podcast in itself.
Yeah, then I came back. But while I was away, I developed this passion for snowboarding. And then I was back in the UK, and then I got offered a job here in France in a place called Morzine, which is in the French Alps. And they've got some of the best snowboarding and skiing here. And then, I've lived here for 10 years, and I was a really avid snowboarder before my accident. And I like mountain biking and all sorts of like thrill seeking stuff like that. So that's why I live here. But yeah, we can get on to how I had my accident. But after my accident, I decided to stay here because of the community and I just love it here, even though it's quite wheelchair inaccessible.
What part of France are you in?
It's a place called Morzine in the French Alps.
French Alps, Morzine. Man, have they? I'm a big World War II buff. Did that affect that place at all in World War II? Do you know of?
I'm not sure actually, but I know that you're into World War II because I was watching some of your other videos, which I was really interesting. Like why you're into World War II, and I know that you're into like guns and shooting guns and stuff. I wondered what kind of got you into that.
You know, it's weird. I don't know. Ever since a young kid, I've always taken like a like to. Not all wars, but like World War II for some reason, just that war. I don't know. I felt like connected to it, like almost like I've been there before. So just growing up, you know what I mean? Learning about it, learning about the places that it took place at, learning about the time frames, the people involved. I don't know. It's something that really kind of wraps you up. I seen a comedian the other day make a joke of it. He said, if you're over 30 and you're into World War II, welcome to the club. And everybody started clapping. I was like, man, what is it? I don't understand. So yeah, I don't know. That's just something that, I took interest in, and I think it was a time where, people really stood up and had to fight for something that was real, that we had to stop, obviously evil from controlling the world. So that's kind of what got me into that, but
that's really interesting, man, because I know this is a little bit of a tangent, but I kind of want to hold on to it because this was one of the questions I was going to ask you. But I wasn't really into World War II at all until I saw this documentary about how big a deal of it was, and all the different like intricacies of how long it went on, and all the different countries that were involved, and it was fascinating, man. And I can see why you would be into it. And I know that you like shooting guns as well, which I feel like is quite I'm from the UK and we don't really have firearms over here, but it looks like a lot of fun to just unload a clip. So I've seen you do that, and that's pretty cool, man.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Hold on one second. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. We got a fit check vertical streaming issue. Now, folks, we are trying new things here. And I want to make sure that we're bringing this to you, as good as we possibly can. But for some reason, it looks okay. Now it's gone. That's weird.
Cool.
So we're gonna record this. I'm gonna make sure.
And yeah, I was saying I watched a few of your videos, and one of the common themes is the technical issues. So.
No, it really is. And I tell you what, man, it's almost like we're fighting demons. Like, you know what I mean? We start talking about evil, look, and all of a sudden it goes crazy. But you just got to say a prayer and be like, come on, Lord, let me get through this last one, and then we'll work on the next one. So we are recording now. Like I said, thanks again for coming on. I really do, like I said, I appreciate what you do. I think that anybody that can sit up in front of a camera and talk about their day-to-day life and help other people, that's what we all look for when we get injured, because we're like, now we have to live this new life, hence why we have the channel. So we covered how it happened. Did we talk about that? I don't think we did yet.
No, I don't think, but I'm aware that that's the first question. So how I got injured was through snowboarding, through my passion. It was a day where I was out with a friend, and we